in defense of Trump, like the stuff he was saying made sense. So going
Not
back,
all of it. No.
what did make sense?
You saying the election was rigged.
But okay.
Hello and welcome to the Hustle Over Everything podcast. This is the podcast where we receive stories, tips, and tactics from entrepreneurs who have done it. Today is a Wildcard episode. That's where we just chop it up, talk about trending topics, see what's good, check in with each other. So, Owen, what's poppin', bro? How are you?
Alex Witter.
Yes, sir.
The Witteroskis. The Witskis. The
Dog.
AW.
You just stay making new names every time.
ATW. The third grade. I should start incorporating third grade in there now.
Bro, why do you always say my full government?
Because it's a very beautiful name, man. Everybody should know it. Alex Whitfield.
I do not like that at all.
How do you not like your own name, bro?
No, I like my name. Don't get me wrong. But I'm like, for instance, I was talking about the Uber ride where the Uber asked me for my whole government name, and I was like,
Yo, you gotta tell this story because I think people need to know like how Ubermans are moving these days.
All right. So take this in, y'all. So I hop in the Uber on my way here today, and the Uber asks for my name.
You're coming here to record. You're coming
here to
record. Yeah.
Let me take a step back too. So I booked the Uber, and I said, hey, I'm just at the elevator. Give me a second. And he's like, okay. So the elevator was taking so long, so I take the stairs. And the way my building works, the stairs is not connected to the main lobby, so it comes out from the side. So I went around the side and hopped in the Uber. So that might have been a little grace of context for him. He's like, oh, why is the guy coming out the side when
side door when the main entrance is like right here?
Exactly. Yeah. But then I get in and he's like, what's your name? So I'm like, Alex. Then he's like, can you say your name again? I'm like, Alex. Then he's like, take off your mask. Which Uber driver asked you to take off your mask?
Take off your mask. He wants to be exposed to the Ronas. That's what he wants.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it says, take off your mask and say it for the camera. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I'm not telling you my whole government name to somebody I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's just a no-go for me to start. And then he starts talking about, how people are robbing Ubers or robbing Lyfts. And I'm like, bro.
How are you robbing a Lyft, first and foremost? Or like robbing a ride from like the person who ordered the Uber or the Lyft?
He's saying that people are hopping in rides and looking at the screen to see what name is there. So as soon as they see the name, they're like, okay, that's the name. I'm just going to say that. So let's say I hop in the Uber, like, hey, my name is Andrew. So and say, what's your name? Andrew, because he sees it on the screen. And then they just right off and say, actually, I just want to switch my location. Can you move it to here? Which doesn't make sense because in order to switch the location, you have to do that in the app.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that doesn't make sense. How are you robbing people's rides? The only way you could do it is if you're just like, could you confirm the location with me? And they're saying, you're going to Fairview Mall? Sure, I'll take that ride. And just bet on it randomly.
Bet on it that it's like going to King West. Like maybe like you're going to the club that night and you're like, like, man, I have no, like my phone's dead or whatever. And just hoping like it's 10 o'clock, that's where shit's popping at right now, Yep. So let me go to Regulars or something like that. Let me catch a free ride to Regulars.
Exactly.
And Ubers at that time, they're ridiculously priced, bro.
Yep.
It's like $40. One time like it was a mad surge, bro. It was like $40. I couldn't do it. I was like, yo guys, I'm gonna be late, but I'm not justifying paying $40 to get an Uber. That's like I could have gone to Brampton.
Facts. You could have gone to Oshawa.
I should go to Oshawa for that.
Yeah.
But $40 for a ride, I'm like, nah, man, I'll take the TTC. I'll go to Shoppers, fill up my Presto, then go downtown.
That's what you do. You get a taxi, bro.
A taxi.
Taxi's the...
Bro, what's a taxi, man?
Nobody's taking a taxi.
Like, what the hell's a taxi? I don't even see taxis these days anymore.
Nah, I see taxis. I see a taxi
I'm capping, bro. But I see taxis. But yeah, that shit, I haven't taken a taxi in years.
Nah, listen, whenever Ubers get that price, I'm saying, you know what? I'll just call the taxi. I still know the taxi number, and I'm just like, all right, let's do it.
You're old school like that.
Listen, I'm money conscious like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But going back to the story, though, so we are in the Uber now, and he's like, yeah. So his people are stealing Uber, so I'm just trying to, make sure that I'm not getting taken care of. Somebody's here stealing Ubers. I'm like, bro, what the heck? What are you trying to say? So I'm starting inquiring now, just trying to like peel back layers. I'm like, okay, so are people here stealing Ubers? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, is it around this area? And then he's like, yeah, people are stealing Ubers around here. I'm like, okay, sure. And keep riding, and this the energy in that car was off. Like, it wasn't like he was like, oh, okay, this is a regular person, then hops off. Because what you could have done easily is he easily could have just said, oh, what'd you tell me about the elevators if you wanted to really see if it was me?
Yeah.
So it was just a messed situation. He's definitely getting 1 star. I'm definitely going to Right to Live.
Yeah, and definitely like leave a review.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Man, like one Uber story I had, right? Like this is like, my view on wearing a mask. Like, I'm kind of whatever. But I respect someone in the car to wear the mask. So I come in this Uber, and he has like the screen behind the thing, like the tarp thing. So it's covering up like the whole thing. It's late at night. He's at the front. He's masked up or whatever. So I come in the car. I'm like wearing my jacket. I'm hot, right? So I'm like, I want to breathe a little bit. So like I'm wearing my mask, but like just like slightly below my nose. So
like it always is. Bro, your mask game is atrocious.
But fam, like I'm there in the back alone. Like let's justify the science here. Like if we're talking about trust the science, where's the science in this? Or is it just a way for you to like tell me like just to put on my mask? So I'm in the back, and he's driving. Like we're in the Gardner, and he looks back at me. He sees like I'm scrolling on Twitter. He sees my mask is like below my nose, and he's just like, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Could you put your mask above your nose?" I'm like, "Bruh, like you are in the front seat. You have a tarp behind the thing. Like, where's the sense in that?" So I was kind of like irritated by that because, bruh, like what's getting between this tarp? And I told my dad this story, and then my dad is just like, John, like, COVID could probably sneak around like the chairs and everything in there. Like it can like go like at the corner of like the seats, and it can just like meet him and he can get infected. I'm like, yo, do you hear what you just said? Like I was telling that to my dad, just like, does that even make any sense at all? And he's just like, nah, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, yeah, like that's ludicrous for him to say that. So it's just like little things like that just piss me off. And I mean, by the way, I'm excited for the masks to be done on Monday. So you're not gonna have to see me like,
with the struggle mask.
The struggle mask.
Oh, hold on, but bro,
that shit was just hanging off like my.
It was horrible. It was horrible. I would look at you and just get pissed. Like, why is that below your nose? And you have the adjustable thing
like the strap,
on the back. So I'm like, you could just adjust it. You want me to adjust it for you? You want me to adjust? Like, bruh. So here's the thing, fam. Here's the thing. Yeah. In an Uber, if they're asking you to put on your mask, fam, just put on the mask.
Bro, I am, but like just
you're
like,
letting the ego get to you.
Yeah,
keep it a buck.
It's just semantics, bro. Like it's just like, what are you talking about, bro? Like just, anyways, man, this shit's done. It's over. We're moving on. We're going back to normal for now. Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, it's time to have a vibe again.
Most definitely. So for that person that's about to. Let's see that there's a kid out there, someone on social media watching this, and they're like, yo, I have $500. I just started a business. Have you seen the Jim Jones clip from Mining Diamonds?
No, I haven't.
I can pull it up for you real quick.
Hey, Dorcas, can you pull that up? By the way, guys, we have Dorcas in the building. Dorcas has, joined the squad over here. So let's welcome Dorcas. This is where we put like a little clap. So Dorcas is, in the background. She has a camera set up as Alex is pulling this up. Dorcas, you want to say something?
What's up, everyone?
Yeah, so if you guys heard that, that's Dorks. I call her Dorks. I have to ask her, do you mind me calling you Dorks?
This guy, bruh.
I have a thing with nicknames.
We definitely do.
I have a thing with nicknames.
Take this in. So me and Owen are going to record. This is for the Evil Wong podcast with Dion. Shout out, Dion. We're in the car. Dion, yeah. Before he even meets this lady, before he even meets Dorcas, shout out to Dorcas, he's like, Dorks, what's up? I'm like, fam, you don't know this person. What's going on?
Right? Because Dorks comes out of her car, she's lugging the equipment. And I already just felt like, yo, like she's cool peeps. I saw like the, what sweater was the sweater you were wearing?
I don't remember.
It was like the Reggie Miller. You were in the Reggie Miller choking, like when he was looking at Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the one.
That's the one. I was just like, yeah, that's my piece. So I just call it Dorks.
Facts.
I just thought like you were one of the people that don't know how to read my name.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I just accepted it.
Nah, but I had to ask you permission if you like me calling you that, and you're like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool, Dorks.
Word.
So Dorks, welcome to 24/7 Hustler.
All right, so
So play this up.
let's go.
I got $500, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a kid that doesn't have too much in the projects.
Yeah.
But I just got an extra $500, and I don't want to spend it on Jordans, and I want to see if I could make this money work for myself. What am I doing with this $500?
You want me to? Oh, you want some businesses you can do with the 500?
I want something.
Boom.
Their camera quality, that was mint.
Mint coming. Yo, as podcasters now, all we see is the content, the
Obviously
quality of the
and
content.
the audio content, and
For
like
sure.
the switching. We don't even pay attention to the content. It's just like that's what makes a pod, bro. Like just the quality, the production. That's the barrier of entry now, man. It's just like everyone's doing the pods. Don't you agree?
No, I think if Michael Jordan right now hopped on a camera and off his phone and said, "Hey, I'm starting a podcast," so right now I don't care what equipment he's recording on, I'm listening.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? If Obama, well, no, maybe not Obama. Actually, Obama started a podcast and it wasn't good. Michelle Obama.
Oh, the one she got to deal with Spotify.
Yeah, it wasn't
was
that
bad?
good. It wasn't that good. Nah, I listened to it.
Did it seem like
You know,
too like?
It's too polished.
It's too polished,
It's too
right?
polished, you know. And the thing about podcasts is it's supposed to be, you know, your authentic self. You know, there's truth in it.
Yeah.
You know, so you can have a very polished podcast, but if there's no truth, you know, it comes off as contrived. And that's what was happening with Ozzy. He was interviewing Matt Damon and other celebrities, but they weren't being truthful. There was just like a quick promo reel, so no one was really watching and they were engaged. The reason why we're tuning into Breakfast Club isn't because they have good quality. It's because
Charlamagne's asked them like, if you can
truthful
smell the fart off their chair.
no, he was being aggressive as hell. Yeah, he was crazy with it. But you know what I think is Charlamagne's biggest.
And you actually had you said some Charlemagne stuff earlier on. I don't think you want to bring it up on the pod, but he is very extra.
For sure,
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. He's very extra, but he used to have a shock thing. That was his shtick for a while, you know, and it worked. But I think what the biggest improvement for Charlemagne though was the fact that he went from shock jock to like this new and improved therapy person and had the complete 180 above any other person. Like
Yeah.
he was shock jock, and then went and was way better than any other person. But we're talking about the Jim Jones content. You know what I'm saying? If you had $500 right now to build a business up, what are you doing? And what could people do?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here, Alex.
Let's go.
Alex Witty. He wants me to be witty here. All right. So, Alex Dorks, what I'm doing if I have $500, if I have, and I'm starting a business, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go online, and I'm gonna look at. First, I'm gonna check out Alibaba or a website called thief.co. And I'm going to look at, okay, what are the most popular trending products that people are buying today? What are some things that people need that they could I can easily test out the product and see how it works. So that's one thing I'll do. I'll give you the e-commerce route and I'll also go the service route too. So I'll be like, okay, what is something that people are buying now that I can easily just go buy the product, test it out, and put it online. So I'll buy the product. I'll identify the market. I'll see how big that market is and how much money I can make out of it. Like, what's the product cost? Like, how much margin can I make out of this product? Like, once I actually put it out there online to sell. So I'll order the product, make a couple videos around it, put that online, put that on Facebook, spend minimal money on ad just to get some interest.
$500, bro. $500.
All right, so bro, so let's say the product costs $60 to order. Right,
$60 to order the products.
$60 to order because I'm not buying bulk yet.
Okay.
So I'm not buying bulk yet. So $60, I bring that in there. So let's say we get a proper video team to record the video, make it look good, make it look polished, if it's something, let's say if it's like an ear cleaning wax product that I can see on Alibaba, okay, I know people like cleaning their ears. I know people don't like using the Q-tips. So let me actually go bring this in. You can actually create a video showcasing, hey, this product works like this when you twist it, because if you use a Q-tips, you're actually pushing the
wax
in there. So this actually allows you. So it solves a problem. There's a market. Everybody likes cleaning their ears at home. People don't want to buy multiple Q-tips. So I'll record a video showcasing that process of how it removes and like how much this does it. Once I have that, dash some ad money in there. So now I'm going to spend $100 on ads, testing out the market. Again, too, you can criticize my ad strategy here because, you know, I'm marketing to a cold audience, but, you know, just to build interest and see how that goes, because I know this is something that's a pain for everyone. And then once I see some interest, I'll spend the other $30 and say, okay, let me get maybe if I'm getting them like at $1 a piece or something like that, you know,
$1 a piece for a customer.
Let's say if I get them in bulk.
Oh, the products.
The product in bulk, right? So I'm going to spend the rest of the money, order the rest of the products in there. It's easy for me to set up a website. So I'll just get like a quick Shopify website, buy a domain, which will be like $10. I can make the logo on Canva, and then just like put it up there. Like it's easy to like do it on Shopify. Then once the ad money is there, you know, get some testimonials and some reviews. I can probably like migrate them from other different websites and see how people do, so that I can build the trust. And I'm in business, bro.
All right, so I have a lot of pushback. So first things first, you're saying you're ordering the product off Alibaba. Mm-hmm. How much do you think it's going to cost to order the product off Alibaba? If you're assuming.
Alibaba, if I buy one, so that's like $20.
Do they have minimum orders of this one thing you can buy?
You can buy one, but it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Okay.
So that's why I said $60.
$60 for the one piece.
For the one piece.
Okay.
Only. Yeah. So now we are at $440. Uh-huh. So the rest of the money, I'm like spending that on like actually creating content around the product.
All right.
Right. So create some videos like the cartoony videos where you can actually showcase like, hey, this is before and after, like using the thing.
Gotcha.
And actually do that.
So you're going to like Fiverr to get the video done?
I can do it myself here.
Doing the video yourself?
I can do a video myself, or for that animation part, I can get someone to like do it properly. Like let's say if it's like a Dorcas who's gonna do it, get her to like, hey, can you like create something like this and then launch that out there. Mm-hmm. And then the website, I can build it myself.
Build a website yourself on Shopify.
Shopify, buy the domain, and then the rest of the money I'm gonna spend it on actually buying the rest of the goods, like for inventory, so I can actually have someone that orders come through.
Got you.
And then once the orders get sold, I can actually start a dropship model.
Got you. So you're doing pre-orders essentially.
Yeah.
For the product. Mm-hmm. You're doing pre-order, so you have the images, the content. Then you're gonna get people to buy it, place the orders. Then once you get the money in, then you're gonna go to Alibaba to make a lot more orders and get it in.
Exactly.
So my question, so there's a lot of holes here that people would have to know. One is if the product is good off the top. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to QA that product to make sure.
But bro, that's why I was saying that I can go in different websites and I can actually migrate those reviews and testimonials onto my website.
Ah, that's good.
So I can actually build trust. Yeah.
So first you're gonna see make sure the product is good from QAing from other sources before you order for yourself.
Yeah. So I mean, other competitors, I can pull like their the reviews and actually put that on my website. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So now, that's good. That's a product route. How would you go service route?
Service route, simple. Go on Google, see like what service people like in the area that people need a lot. So if it's something that's going to require like some labor, those businesses I can easily get customers. So let's say if it's like a cleaning business, like so right now what I know is spring is here and everyone's windows are dirty, right? So if I live in a neighborhood, and because I like, for example, I grew up in Sarnia. It was like a very like suburban place. A lot of older folks who live in that neighborhood, they don't want to be out there like cleaning their windows and like doing all that stuff. Some guys do. They take pride in doing that for themselves. But for the elderly women out there who want to just have some upkeep around their house, like, hey miss, let me clean your windows for you. So what, I'll take the money, I'll go print out, hey, this is O'Dollar Man's Cleaning Services, right? Or Agent Double O Cleaning, right? So I'll brand it like that. Like I'm like slick, I come in, just get the job done, in and out, boom. So I'll spend the money. So that's going to be at least $200 to like market my services. I'll like spend some money on Google Ads to like search up, because now I know people are searching up for cleaning services. Like I want to be there, like when you search up in the area of Toronto or Sarnia, if I'm back home. And then the rest of the money, I'm spending that on like cleaning supplies, cleaning the soap, the brush, a uniform for myself, some gloves, and that's how I'm going to spend the money. So half of it is spending it on the goods to actually clean the product, and then the other one is like I'll spend maybe $100 on Google Ads, $200 on my uniform, cleaning supplies, and then the rest of the $200 I'm going on Vistaprint and printing out all the cards explaining the services and the
Assets.
tier. Exactly.
Word.
And then that's just $500, and then the rest is just me hustling out there, cleaning people's houses at $20 a pop.
I love that second one. That second one is where the money's at, I feel. That
Yeah.
first one is a lot of layers, dog.
But you gotta think about it like this, right? There's a lot of people who don't want to go out there and do the nitty gritty work.
Now, I'm saying for $500, you can get it done for the first one for sure. I'm saying with $500 is a lot of wiggle room where that could spend to give you pushback. Like for the marketing, for instance, you're saying for the Facebook ads. That $500 on Facebook.
I know that shit ain't gonna it's not gonna compete at all.
Nah.
Like that.
Nah.
Facebook's just like thanks for
Appreciate
playing.
you. Appreciate you.
Thanks for coming out.
Word.
You know?
Word.
But what would you do?
$500?
Yeah.
I'm not even touching like social media ads, to be honest with you. $500, I am doing. So I'll look at it like this: what is the lift I can give people that need it? Right now, one of the biggest places a lot of businesses want to get in but can't is TikTok. And if I can save as much money as I can without having to buy much, I can literally just take my phone and be like, yo, do you have TikToks for your company? I'll have a whole TikTok division for your company. And it's all I have to do is organize it on Canva, organize it on Google Suite or G Suite, and have the whole content calendars, social media calendars just for TikTok only, and be a TikTok specialist for brands. But I only have to spend $1. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I'm biased. I'm not on the spot. I had time to think about it because I saw the clip.
So the question.
So I've had time to think about it.
You've
you know what I'm
marinated
saying?
on it. Yeah.
I had time to marinate.
Yeah.
So this would be my thing. I would be a TikTok specialist or an iPhone video specialist. You know what I'm saying? For brands, where I can literally just create iPhone X video for brands, because that's what's popping right now. The overproduced content on social media isn't as good as the organic things on social media right now, especially on TikTok, and that's a new form of communication, right? If Google is copying TikTok, Facebook's copying TikTok, then TikToks are the new form of communication because they're the biggest platforms. So if everybody needs to get there, everyone needs someone to have that communicator for them. So that would be mine. You know, I would just walk up to brands that I know, and what I would try to do is try to find like high value brands. So or high value industry niches like lawyers, dentists, chiropractors, where the LTV of a person, the lifetime value of a person is way longer than like, I don't know. No, I was gonna say barbershop. Barbershops have long LTVs too. Maybe a restaurant, you know what I'm saying? Because a restaurant, you're gonna have to be there every day, and the margins are a lot smaller than like a lawyer or a chiropractor, because you gotta keep coming back to them, you know. So if one person gets if a lawyer gets one person in the through that door, they're staying, or unless they mess up, and that lawyer's gonna love you, because if they let's say pay you $500 for a month for one lawyer, and they get one client, they're eating. One client, you know. Same with the dentist. One client, they're good.
That's why, when like dentists, all these guys, they pay so much money for Google Ads because it justifies the cost. Because if I spend $10,000 a month on ads and I get these clients coming in, they're with me forever, ever. Like, I signed up for Family Doctor in 2019. I haven't looked at anyone else. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So
Facts.
it's good.
And that's one thing, like, for our audience, you know, as we're just riffing, like, what is your LTV strategy? How are you getting people to stay with you for a long period of time? You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I would do. I would have a social media agency specifically for TikTok where I'm creating TikToks consistently.
But you know what I want to ask you?
What's that?
I want you to step out of your agency mind, because I feel like you're kind of biased because you work in agency world with what you do. What would you do if it was not related to digital marketing or content creation?
If it was not related to digital marketing, all right, if I'm just like a kid in high school,
Yeah.
one thing I could do, well, the thing is, I was putting it for a kid in high school. Like, that was my mindset. I was like, yo, if I'm a kid in high school, I can just go up to, like, walk up to the business, be, hey, I make TikToks. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was thinking. Other things you could do is you could do I think, what service were you doing?
Window cleaning.
Window cleaning. I was thinking mowing lawns.
Mowing
That's
lawns,
a
yeah.
easy one. You know,
But you also have to imagine, to buy a lawnmower, it's like $400.
no, it's not.
Yeah,
it's,
it is.
It's like $250.
You sure?
Let's look it up right now. Lawnmower sale. Oh, and you can rent them too. Lawnmower, $250, $169, $150 right there. $150 for a lawnmower. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, damn. That's actually pretty reasonably priced now.
Exactly. You know, and then you sign on people. It's like, yo, let's make a summer contract. You know, sign on 6 houses.
Yeah.
You know, another one's car detailing. That's a big one. All you need is water and soap in a bucket.
Bro, lawn mowing changed my life, because that was my first ever business. In high
Really?
school. Yeah. That's when I realized the power of entrepreneurship.
Break it down.
I was like, I remember I told you this story. My mom wanted me to get a job at like Timmy's or Harvey's. It was like spring break, like kind of like around that time. And I was just kind of like, I don't really want to do that. I just want to just chill at home, right? And I was like, man, you know what? If I go to Timmy's or whatever, I'm going to be making this for the entire day. Let's say if it's $80 for like 6-7 hours. That's my wage. Like for it's criminal how much you get, like how much little you get paid just for standing around, taking like shit from people, orders and whatever. So I just saw an opportunity. I was like, you know what? Let me go out there and actually just cut my neighbor's grass, like cut their thing. I have a lawnmower here. I have energy. I'm young. And when I went there, I was like, hey, $25. So the entire day I was done cutting grass in like 3 hours for my neighbors, and I made like over $100. And that's when I realized, like, and then I went back home and chilled. There was no boss over me. There's no one telling me do this or do that. No one telling me when to take a break. I was like, wow, this is sick. I can go back, eat lunch, come finish the job. Just having that autonomy of my own dollar. Like, I was out there eating what I killed.
Yeah,
You get me, bro?
For sure.
And that was a transformative time in my life. I was just like, it was a massive paradigm shift. I was like, never am I ever gonna like work and not have this option of chasing a business. Monumental shift in my life, bro.
Facts.
You get me?
And then you can like scale that up. You
can scale that up, you know?
Facts. So let's keep it pushing, bro. The only thing, like I said, with yours, I think is the added cost. They add up. But that second one though is fire.
I think we can easily go do that right now, bro.
Which one?
The window cleaning.
Window cleaning for sure.
We can rake
for sure
money.
For sure.
What's stopping us?
Our businesses, our our jobs, our lives, our girls, all that.
Yeah.
But let's keep it pushing. One thing that is stopping us is getting an Ontario ID, the digital ID.
Okay, I know what this is, but for the new people who are listening, let's actually bring up what the digital ID is.
So this is digital ID in Ontario. Here's what the site says: Learn about digital identity program. Why does that doesn't
learn about Ontario's digital identity program, which
All right.
introduces a new convenient way to prove who you are that will make accessing online and in-person services simpler, safer, and more secure. So essentially what this is, it's essentially the COVID passport, but for everything.
Exactly. What do you think about this?
Why do we need this?
That's a great question. Why do we need this?
Why do we need this?
All right, so this is what they're saying. It's convenient, secure, privacy preserving, verifiable, and in your control.
Wait, go back. Do you see that? Your data is protected using strong encryption, and unlike your physical wallet, your digital ID can easily be turned off if your phone is lost or stolen.
Wow. What do you think about this, bro? I know you have some thoughts on it.
Man, this is when COVID started. I said this was happening. I told you I looked crazy when I was telling you this. And I was telling my family this. I was like, guys, this whole COVID thing, as crazy as it is, it's introducing a new way of life. And this new way of life of normal that we want to go back to is never gonna happen again. COVID presented a new opportunity for governments all over the world to bring in a new way of life. So what you're gonna start realizing is there's gonna be a cashless society moving forward. Everything is gonna be digital currency. And the whole thing about this digital ID, and they're testing it with the vaccine passport, right? And that's why Canada is not dropping the mandatory vaccination for travelers leaving Canada or in Canada, because the digital ID is a testing ground for this passport. And what they're doing is they're actually utilizing banks to initiate it, because banks are like they're heavily regulated. You need it for credit, you need it for mortgages, you need to access your money and everything. That's why, like, with the whole thing with the whole Freedom Convoy, they were like using that as a way to freeze people's bank accounts just because you protested and it was not on their agenda to talk about, to criticize them. Just think about that, man. Freezing your bank account. Little old Mary is donated a Freedom Convoy because her son is out there fighting for his rights. He's like, hey, I don't want to have this mandatory vaccination. Let me go donate $50 to support the truckers. And now she is getting her bank account frozen just for that. Completely unethical. So now with the whole digital ID, what this is going to do, it's going to give you the ability, it's going to allow other certain people the ability to take away your freedoms of doing certain things, even though you have a right to do it. So your digital ID is going to be tied to your bank account. It's going to be tied to like your credit score. It's going to be tied to everything. And it's essentially a social credit system like the way they have it in China, right? So the social credit system, it's going to see how good of a person you are. And if your digital ID score is low, that's why they're saying they can actually deny you certain things, like you cannot go into this restaurant, or you just got a DUI. I can't give you any more drinks. Even though you had a DUI before, but just because of that, you can't even pay for another drink. Or you already ate red meat. Oh, you've already taken your red meat consumption today, so you can't buy certain things. So everything is going to be under one World Bank, and this is why they're rolling this out universally, because it's going to stop you from traveling, buying certain things, accessing certain services. And that's why they're really pushing this thing out, because they want to track and monitor you everywhere you go. You get me?
Most definitely. Some of the use cases they're saying for this include lottery tickets, picking up packages from the post office, applying for government assistance, vaccination records, and like you said, a bank. Another one is hiring new employees, proving business identity, opening, like you said, the business accounts, applying for loans, grants, and tax credits, and verifying customers' identity. Man, this is wild. This is wild, for sure.
Yo, no, like, bro, we're actually fucked. Like, I'm serious. Like, and this is what I was scared of. Like, it wasn't even the COVID thing. It was just what they're using this for to push the agenda.
Did you have a digital ID?
What, in Hong Kong?
Yeah. No.
But China has something like that.
But in China, I think they have been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
What they do is they all use WeChat as well.
Yeah, WeChat.
So they
yeah.
can already track everything, like from what you buy just from the street vendor.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually are not allowing people with like lower score to even get on the train.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Get
That's
on a train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why even the way they were holding out this thing, you can't even go on a Via Rail, bruh. You can't go on Via Rail. Like, think about how absurd that is.
Oh, without a vax passport.
Without a vax passport today. It's 3 years, man. Everything is being dropped. So I can't travel to London, Ontario. I can't go to Montreal. How crazy is that, man? And we're becoming so we're normalizing. Oh yeah, that's just the way it is, man. And that's why this digital ID stuff is just gonna
roll out.
Get in there, and it's gonna be part of the whole. Yeah, I guess I got my. You don't have your digital ID. Sorry for you, bud.
Yeah.
And you can snitch on people too.
Really?
Yeah. So the more you, dorks, you know what I'm talking about. If you see your neighbor doing something wrong, if you whatever, you can report like, oh yeah, like this person, and there's gonna be cameras. It's gonna be a surveillance state. There'll be cameras everywhere. Your digital ID will be tracked to your phone, and they can like recognize your face too, and they'll be like, oh Alex, you crossed the light here at a certain time. Oh, you didn't stop at a red light. Oh, I saw you do this at a certain mall. Oh, you got in this argument with some person. Boop. Score lowers. Yeah, no restaurant for you today, buddy.
Word. You get in a fight with your Uber driver?
Oh yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Bro, take that in. Oh yeah. You're rating your Uber is gonna be tied to your digital ID. Oh yeah, you're banned from Uber from like or TTC for some time now. Stuff like this makes me want to move back to Kenya, bro.
All right, so this is what they're saying. This is the latest update. Our progress so far. Here's what we've been up to since we announced digital ID as part of Ontario Onwards. In October 2020, we published a set of technical tools. We started to build out Ontario's digital IDs. We held an online consultation on the policy framework. Really? I didn't know about this. Yo, I swear to God, they'd be holding like these secretive meetings. I'll pull up to one of these. So patients in Niagara Health were among the first in the province who can access their diagnostic records, such as X-rays, CT scans, MRIs, and ultrasounds, through the Patient Digital Identity Service. We introduced our first digital and data strategy, building a digital Ontario. Bro, this is scary, dog. What else have they done? So we surveyed and consulted with the public on both medium and small size businesses about using digital ID. We held roundtable consultations with large markets to understand their perspectives on technology, the role of government, and standards for a digital identity system.
It's crazy, man. That's why when you ask yourselves, like, what's up with all this holding on to this COVID thing? It's because of stuff like this, man.
Yeah, what's crazy is that, there's actual evidence that, of course, the vaccine is not working. There's evidence of that, for one. And there's evidence that there's side effects from the vaccine.
Bro, there was how many pages? 500 pages of side effects that you're getting from the vaccine. And even the CEO of Pfizer came out and said, hey, this COVID pandemic presented us to create these vaccines, which are essentially gene therapy vaccine. Did you hear about this?
Nah.
Yeah, so essentially these vaccines are gene therapy. They alter your genetic makeup.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I don't know about that one. So I definitely gotta research that one a little bit more. I have no idea about that one. Let's keep it pushing, bro.
Yeah, that stuff is scary to think about, eh?
Yeah, man.
It's really unsettling.
Most definitely. You know who's trying to get settled in though? It's Colin. He's trying to get back into the NFL. And
I think you should just give it up.
Yeah?
Just it's over, bruv.
What do you think he should do with his life moving forward?
I think he's done a lot. I think what he stood for, take it in like this. If he continued playing, if he never took a knee, he could have maybe gotten injured, never played again, and boom, you have no platform. But he took the moment to really stand up for something. Mm-hmm. And although he was booted out of the NFL, it gave him a lot of opportunities, to be honest. He got his own show on Netflix. He got all these speaking gigs. He got endorsements. He became the spokesman for certain things. He's now he's a hero for black empowerment and police brutality, right? So to try and come back in the NFL when they told you can't even play here because this is like a white boys club. You think these billionaire owners who have legacy, who have like fuck you money, who are gonna just come back after you try to tarnish my league? You stand no chance. I love Kaepernick, and I'm just keeping it real.
I feel like they might do it to save face. That's probably the reality of it. They might do it to save face, to, so that, yeah, see, look, we let him back in. Everything's hunky-dory.
Yeah.
In my wave. But I think that's the only thing you can. But honestly, the question is why. And the thing is that, like, him coming back in the league would signify that I guess there's something that was accomplished, I feel like the reason why he kind of stepped down and stopped playing was to protest police brutality. So if he came back, would that signify or communicate to the people that the police brutality is fixed? You know what I'm saying? That everything's good in the world? Or the action that he wanted to get done has now been done? So I feel like that's another thing. But it's evident that they kicked him out. He's been able to move on with his life. But the thing is that, like, Muhammad Ali, went under scrutiny for not joining the war, right? But he could still box. He went under scrutiny, but he could still box. Whereas Colin Kaepernick, he no longer has his whole joy. Like, I watched the show, and I had no idea that he was good at baseball. You watch the show?
I didn't watch. Is it good?
Bro, it's actually really good. It's actually really good.
Kind of
Check
looked
it out.
very like.
Yeah, it looked very like that's what I'm looking for. PG. Rated G.
It's like a high schooler that you watch. This kind of like a family channel.
Word.
The mom and dad sit around like Friday night, watch with the kids.
Word. When I watch the show, I want to go dark. I want to go. I like
dark. Gangster shit, man. I like crime.
For
like
sure.
Just like the grittiness of that. That's what I find entertaining.
Exactly. Like, let me get out of my cushy world and go somewhere horrible.
Exactly. Escape.
So, but no, Collins was actually really good, and it was really informative and educational about his background. And apparently he was like an amazing baseball player. Like, he was getting scholarships out the ass to different places.
He could have probably played in the major leagues.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But he chose to be on my basketball. Wow.
Football.
Wow. That's embarrassing. Definitely going to edit that one out.
Keep that in there. See, this is why you got to watch more sports, bro.
Bro, I know Colin. Jeez. That's even worse. I know Colin Kaepernick is a football player.
Bro, see the way you get music over me?
Yes.
I guess sports
you get sports over me.
That's a fact. I always dunk on you when it comes to
That's
sports.
That's a fact. Well, music is more my thing. Sports.
This is when I get to give you that look. Like wow,
bro.
Are you serious?
Did I just, that is called.
Did you just do that out?
Yeah, that was bad.
Hold that, bro. Marinate that out.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to.
Marinate.
L.
Soak that.
All right. So let's keep it pushing. One thing that.
Pushing P.
What you know about pushing P?
What is pushing P? A pushing P.
It's keeping a player.
So that's what it means?
That's what it means.
So pushing P means keeping a player?
Yeah, like, like that's P, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fire. Like, that's what pushing P is.
Because I kept seeing, I was like, I heard the song, but I didn't know what pushing P means.
You know who wrote the song?
So you trying to dunk on me now?
Definitely. I want for revenge.
You've been waiting. Like I walked into that.
Yes, you did.
Is it a little?
Nope.
It's not a little.
Nope.
Bro, I have no idea.
Yeah, damn.
It's like, wow, dude. It's like, how'd you not know?
How you not know Gunna, dog?
How you gonna bring up pushing P and you don't know who pushing P is?
Exactly, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So
Look at that.
Who is it?
It's Gunna featuring Future.
I'm pushing P. I remember that.
Pushing P. You know what I'm saying? All right. So the Nelk Boys just had Trump on their podcast.
How did you find the show, by the way?
Honestly, I found it.
It was entertaining for me.
It was entertaining, but it seemed very calculated. You know, the Nelk Boys are like the Jackass, the MTV men's version. It's like Barstool Boys. You know, pardon me. So seeing them embrace Trump, I actually thought at first it was just like a clout thing, like because in the beginning of their podcast they have like a little Trump thing, and I'm like, oh, maybe just like showing clout, like, oh yeah, we got Trump. Like,
do you see him giving the Rolex?
Yeah.
The presidential
for
Rolex?
sure, for sure. I'm getting there.
Ever since I got the Rollie, I ain't got the time.
Word. So with Trump going on the podcast, it felt very calculated because
on whose part?
On Trump's part.
Okay.
Because he could go on Joe Rogan, you know what I'm saying? He could go on a platform where people are going to take him seriously and ask him real questions. but he went on a platform that's ran by people who absolutely love and adore him and are going to push back and give him real questions that's going to challenge him. So Trump took over the conversation from like the second question, and just like was spewing whatever he had to spew, and just had them like eating out of his hand really throughout the whole conversation. So it really was unfair in terms of what America needed, North America, of course America. But that's one thing that I think was super apparent is that like, all right, so he's talking to a base, and it's interesting seeing the Nelk Boys be like a conservative, like pathway. Like kids were just watching prank shows 5-6 years ago, and now they're being indoctrinated into like right-wing conservative like ideologies. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting, and like that could literally lead. Like I wonder if what's the black guy on the Nelk Boys? Like I wonder if he like deeps that like this content is gonna like actually drive like a good section of white Americans to like right-wing neo-Nazi content. Like I wonder if he knows that and deeps that as he's like recording with Trump. Like, but they don't give you gift two shits. So
yeah. Like the one thing you said here is him going on the platform with the Nelk Boys. But which other platform can he go on that is going to give him pushback? We know Rogan is going to give him pushback. Because Rogan, he's one of the best listeners I've ever seen in journalism. Like up there with, what's that, 60 Minutes guy?
I don't know his name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but him. The way Rogan asks questions and he like just dissects everything is just artistry to me. But the thing is, you have to remember, Rogan just got off like a huge cancel culture promotion for him to leave Spotify. So there's no way Trump is gonna go on Rogan at this moment. Like
they have him booked. He's gonna go on Rogan.
But even before that, you have to let things to cool off a little bit. Like Rogan just like finished off being slandered. So which other platform? He's not gonna go on mainstream media. Who else is there?
You could go on Andrew Schultz's pod.
You can go to Schultz. He can go to PBD, Patrick Bet David. He's gonna give massive pushback.
Massive pushback.
Like if anyone, I'd want to see him on PBD because PBD, he's well educated on the political spectrum. He's a business guy. He's a great interviewer, and I think it'll be a great battle just to see them both two go at it.
Exactly.
But, yeah. But
so that's what I'm saying. That there is options. There's got to be at least 5 Patrick Bet Davids out there. I think Jordan Peterson has a pot. Well, I don't know if Jordan Peterson's a good fit. I don't think it's a good fit. Yeah. But there's probably like a good 5 to 6 platforms that are people that would give him pushback and have an honest conversation. That wasn't that. He was like that. He was like Drake being interviewed by Marlon Palmer. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't. And no disrespect to Marlon, shout out to Marlon, but like that's not going to be a situation where they're giving pushback and challenging him. They're like, yo, we're grateful for you being here, So all the questions and everything is just going to be aligned with him. It's not going to be anything challenging. But to the Nelk Boys, that's a big W.
That's a big get.
Big W.
That's a big get.
Big W.
I thought like the stuff that were there. I think one of the interviewers was actually asking solid questions.
He was asking solid questions, but it wasn't challenging.
It wasn't challenging.
It
just gave Trump an opportunity to like talk and say his piece or whatever. I just found it refreshing from Trump's perspective how unfiltered he was in talking about like what's going on right now. Like it was like a very honest like conversation just to see like, oh, this is how Trump thinks about things right now. This is what's going on. And it really let me know like how as much as horrible as Trump is, he does get an unfair rap in mainstream media, because some of the things he was saying make sense. It's just because he's Trump, like the liberal media doesn't like that. So like now when he was gone, CNN lost someone to be as the bad guy, and Biden is not going to be the bad guy. So who is going to be like the next bad guy? Rogan, right? Like the propaganda that was going about Rogan taking horse dewormer, which is just ivermectin, right? He was getting a bad rap, but like in defense of Trump, like the stuff he was saying made sense. So going
not
back,
all of it, no.
What did it make sense?
You saying the election was rigged?
But I have no clue that it's rigged. You have no clue if it's rigged. But what makes you think that it wasn't rigged?
Man, listen, if the reason why people were storming the Capitol is because they thought it was rigged. So of course there's people who really think that it was rigged. But like, fam, going on there and just continuing to spew that rhetoric, I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? For one, I think there was a lot of misinformation on that podcast episode. Listen, when somebody is in a leadership position, there's gonna be things that they're gonna have to say that to align with their base every single time. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Umar is going to say things that align with his base, and he's going to go off a bit. The same thing with Trump, bro. Dr. Umar and Trump are two men of the same spirit. You know, they're going to say things that are very impactful and very true, then they're going to go off the radar and talk about foolishness sometimes. And that's where I see that same thing happening. I don't think the election was rigged. I personally don't, you know.
But it's not.
And if it was, too bad. That's the reality as well.
I get it. But the fact that, so you have a problem with Trump saying that it was rigged.
I do, because if it was rigged, then it's too bad. Like, look what he was doing. Look what he incited, like, the effery that was going on in February or January, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like that is wrong. So like, listen, if you're gonna incite people to have violence on American soil, like, you're doing the wrong thing.
But he didn't incite violence. Let me challenge you on this.
Semantics.
Right? First of all, like, even for me to declare that I'm a Trump supporter, I'm not. I'm just going facts here and what we see and like what you interpret it. There's like facts and feelings, bro. So we gotta establish that.
Let's go.
What I'm saying is, like, he can feel like the thing was rigged, right? He has every right to feel like that is rigged. But what makes that misinformation to you if he's feeling that and he was running?
Bro, people are trying to sue him for that. Like, so it's misinformation because, first off, he felt that way. They did a recount, and they said that he lost. They moved forward with the notion that he lost. All right, he lost. And the whole country has moved forward. You know what I'm saying? Anything else is then going against the government. So that's what he was doing, and that's what he was trying to go forward with, as a plan to say that the government's wrong and you know, cause an insurrection and almost like a coup, like a literal coup, bro. Like what else are we trying to talk about? That's what he was going for, and continuing to do that is inciting a coup rhetoric. Point blank, period.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, I see what he's doing, but the whole thing about those people attacking the whole storm, you're saying Trump incited that.
Hell yeah.
But he did not say go attack the Capitol.
Man, no gangster always is gonna like go make a hit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be passed down. It's always passed down. It's no person at the top is gonna make that initial claim saying, "Hey, I need you to go do this." No, there's gonna be people that are gonna have that top-down funnel of information. You know, so his son was someone that they were trying to convict of inciting the riot and inciting the violence that happened. So I think his camp should be at fault. For sure. And the person that's in charge of that is going to be at fault, and that's him. So, you know, guilty by association.
Okay. So what we're debating here is Trump right or wrong on what specific thing? Like, on him saying the thing was rigged? So you're saying misinformation is talking about misinformation.
Yeah.
But the fact that that's misinformation is we have no, like, we get information from like mainstream media, and like we're told that is true. But time and time again, we've seen that what they've told us has ended up not being as true. So I'm coming from
what elaborate on that.
What I'm saying is, like, what mainstream media says that, okay, the thing was not rigged, the thing was a fair election, and I'm talking about the spirit of the times that we live in right now, is that whatever we hear on TV, whatever we hear, what we're told, we're programmed to believe that is factually correct, or that is true, or this guy's the bad guy, this guy's the good guy. Like, a lot of propaganda goes out to paint a picture of a certain party or figure that this is the way they are because they want us to look like that. And we've seen it happen before with many different things, misinformation on certain, let's say the COVID. There's so many things that were lies. They told us, you can even go and say, hey, they told us this is a safe vaccine, but we're learning now it wasn't. So that's misinformation. So misinformation is everywhere. What I'm saying is that what we think of misinformation or what we think is true can also be qualified as misinformation as well. So what I'm saying is, from where we're sitting, we have no bearings to really understand what is true information or what is not information, because they're trying to censor out certain things and tell us one thing to think about, and that is what's the true information. So when Trump says this is what happened, although it could be misinformation, we can't go to him and say that's misinformation.
Why can't we?
Because we have no bearings to know it's misinformation.
But
bro.
the people who's supposed to have that have stated that this is misinformation.
But the fact that you believe that's misinformation, because you tend, what I'm saying is, it's like you can have objectives here where even if you're pictured as an authority figure and you come on TV and say that this is true, why do we believe that immediately? Like, we should just train ourselves to like, to question.
Gotcha.
But that's what I'm trying to say here, bro. It's like, for you to believe that without even questioning it, that I think is that's what I'm challenging on here, bro. Is don't believe what they say just because it's like the white lab coat theory type of thing. Mm-hmm. We should always be like, something is off here. Like, something is whatever. Mm-hmm. So the election might have been rigged. It might not have been rigged, but if there's smoke there might be some truth to what he's saying. Mm-hmm. There might be some lies to what he's saying. So who's really here being honest? It's the same thing as Fauci. Like, when Fauci came out, he was seen as the savior. He's seen as the guy, and like he's being portrayed as the authoritarian on it. Bill Gates is now be portrayed as like, when does Bill Gates become the authority on vaccines and drugs and etc.? So why should I listen to him? Oh, this guy said the election wasn't rigged. Okay, I believe the election wasn't rigged. Like, why do I believe the election was not rigged? Or if it was rigged? So I think the bias here is that, we've been told to hear certain figures and like believe their information is, or this is the bad guy and this is the good guy. And I'm just in the place of where I'm not listening to the good guy. I'm not listening to the bad guy. I'm looking at, okay, what this is being said right here. I'm seeing that as, okay, that is off. I know I hate this guy, but he's saying some whack shit right now. Oh, he said some stuff that does make sense. Okay, I don't like that. I remove like the feelings of what I feel about the person, and I'm actually just looking at what they're saying and what I understand of the situation. Mm-hmm. So I don't align with my love or my hatred or my emotion to infiltrate my decision making or what I feel about that person for them to be either saying the truth or maybe saying a lie.
For sure. I understand that. You're in search of truth.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the source of truth. It's not I hate Trump. It's not I hate Biden. I just want to be able to turn on the news and the media for what they're saying is like, this is a fact, and not be pulled by agendas. Like, there was like a show about when Trump was running initially, and Fox News, he was essentially in bed with Rupert Murdoch, right? Megyn Kelly, the interview that she did with, you remember the Megyn Kelly interview?
Nope. I'm not the political pundit, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not a political pundit, but like I'm saying, these media, the media platforms like Fox, CNN, they choose a side on who they're gonna support, and whatever. And Trump was like talking to Rupert Murdoch, hey, can you push this? Can you say this? Can you ask Megyn not to do this? Right? So as we've grown up to see media as a place of like, this is where we get it and what they say is honest, we've seen time and time again is what they're doing is they're brainwashing us to think a certain way because they have a certain party pushing their views for them to tell us what we should think.
Gotcha.
That's where I'm coming from. But I just feel like journalism has lost its touch, like where you can tell this isn't true authentic. You can tell there's some agenda behind it, which has caused me to question everything I hear.
Got you. So let's circle back because we were talking about Nelk Boys and Trump.
It goes back to Nelk, yeah.
So with that, the Nelk Boys aren't in a position to challenge him to find the truth. So that's why I'm saying it's unfortunate that they're the platform he chose, because they weren't there to like actually discover truth. They were there to win an interview, So that's why I was like, it's not a good fit. Because even though it's a big W for them, for the American public, for the people that are watching it, it's going to be a tough out. So, and it sucks because YouTube did take it down, and it's an interesting thing. They shouldn't be taking it down, because all it's going to do is make it more, interesting for other people to go and watch it, to figure out what he said that made it get taken down, And with that, it's that people should have a space to search for the truth. It shouldn't just be people who are like, I don't think we should be interviewing Pierre Trudeau on foreign affairs. You know what I'm saying? Unless we know and are studying thoroughly to question him, to find the truth. So if I'm not that person, then we shouldn't be in that position personally, unless we have the ability to search for truth, or it's a casual conversation. You know what I'm saying?
So is it more about what you're questioning here? It's the talent of the interviewer and not the platform to push back, because the Nelk Boys have a platform
For sure.
So it's more in the duty of the Nelk Boys as a team to challenge someone like Trump. So it's not even just like
nah, it's not. They shouldn't be talking. If Trump's coming on the platform, they shouldn't be talking about political shit that's like gonna change the world or like affect people in that way. I feel like it should be a casual conversation where we talk about UFC, YMCA, and all the other shit they're talking about. Once they get into like the political shit, I'm like, all right, the Nelk Boys aren't prepared for this. Unless they came prepared for it, then boom, they have that conversation. But like if you're actually trying to have a conversation and searching for truth, then be prepared for that and actually go in with that in mind, and not just be there sucking him off. That's what they were doing. They weren't really challenging him to actually get to the next level for the American people.
So what would you have liked to see the Nelk Boys do?
I would have liked them to challenge him on what would happen if he was to run for president again, and actually like what things would he run on, and what do you think he did wrong during his presidency? Like things that actually would make him take a pause and think deeply, and maybe even like apologize. But that's Trump. Trump's not apologizing for anything. But you know what I'm saying? Actually challenge him. I don't think they did that really. They aren't incentivized to challenge him. And by your definition, bro, that podcast is exactly what you're saying, of having a media that's in bed and has relationships with people that they're trying to withhold, like or keep upstanding, like their relationship with Dana White, and Dana White's the plug for the Trump podcast. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag, because if Trump goes on any other platform, they're gonna spin it in a way that makes him either look good or look bad.
Nah.
But this podcast, what I find it refreshing is because never have we ever seen Trump speak in a manner where he's laid back, gives his own authentic thoughts at the time without actually crafting for a specific message.
Pardon me.
To push up.
I totally disagree. Trump's always talking in his authentic self. That's why people love Trump. It's because he's just brash, unapologetically him.
I know, but
that's what. Yeah.
But the reason is because the thing, Trump knows to say this stuff to really get a reaction.
Of course.
Right? It's not like he is talking to himself, but sometimes he hyperbolizes it to really get shock value. Because if you watch Trump before he was in presidents, he even said in an interview before, he's like, hey, I'm thinking about running for president one day. He's just like, oh, which side are you going to run on? He's just like, I've thought about it a lot. I like some of the liberals say. I like some of the conservatives. But, to be honest with you, I'm actually going to run conservative. It's just like, no, I'm going to run Republican. The interviewer asked her, is like, oh, Republicans? Yeah, I just find the Republican Party, they're very passionate people. They can easily be told. They can set policies. They can do whatever. Essentially, what Trump was saying is just like, when you're Republican, you can get the Republican group or supporters, the hardcore supporters, to really passionately support you because he knows how to manipulate them in a way that he knows he can, and which we saw that happen. What I'm saying in this interview, Trump just spoke casually and his thoughts of like certain things with no, hey, I'm not running for presidency anymore. I'm not, like, we don't know that. It's not out yet. So, you know.
He can't. He legally can't say it.
He legally can't say, but we don't know that. But here he was just talking in a manner where, hey, this is how, yes, I actually, the whole Ukraine thing, I told Putin, you know, like, it's just kind of chilling there talking about his feelings about certain things, which is what was like refreshing about the interview.
It was refreshing.
It was refreshing.
I can agree with you there.
That's what I'm saying.
It was refreshing to see Trump overall because you haven't seen him in media for quite a while.
So that was what was refreshing about it, just to have Trump lay back, have people like us, like young guys like us, just talking to the president, like just the optics of it.
I ain't like Nelk. I ain't bought it.
What do you mean?
I ain't like Nelk.
You don't like Nelk?
No, I'm not like Nelk.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah, and I know like the way you feel about like Trump and the Nelk guys, like these type of guys, like, you know, feelings aside from that, right? Like you're not a Saturdays with the boys type of guy, right? But just the figure of Trump with these type of everyday guys, everyday Joes,
yeah, it was a good thing to see.
Made for great TV, and having Trump not under a microscope, not on mainstream media, not being pummeled by CNN or Fox or whatever. That's what made the interview great. And him talking about, yeah, I called Putin and I told him, like, don't do this. I told him this, whatever. Him talking like that, that was great. You know, and that's what we need more of, is just like unfiltered conversations with no agenda of whatever, and Trump just like coming in and talking.
There was definitely an agenda. Agenda,
whatever. But Trump has never been given a platform like that where he's just being on a podcast and just talking.
Yeah, and you never really see him candid on a long form.
And on long form content.
For sure. Word, man. That was such a long debate. That was good. Yeah, man.
We've never debated.
Yeah,
I pushed you to the limit.
No.
I won that debate.
Nah.
Norris, who won that?
It's not my place to say.
You're being very diplomatic.
Yeah,
How political of you.
I am.
Yeah, no. I don't even know if it's one of them things where there is a winner. It's just stating each other's opinions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to that, bro, honestly, I'm not even a political pundit like that to comment. Like, I would rather have something that I'm knowledgeable in, you know, like I don't even know the day the insurrection happened, you know, so I'm not the person to go in depth about. I don't know if this is the podcast for that, you know what I'm saying?
That's why it's a wild card.
That's why it's a wild card.
We're going wild, as I always say.
Alright, so the work towards wrapping up, man. What do we have on the docket? What's coming up?
I'm not sure. Nothing yet. Nothing we can announce yet. You know, we have some dope interviews lined up that we're gonna do. You know, I can't announce it yet, so you're gonna have to just wait on it. But yeah, we have some really interesting stuff coming, so make sure you stay tuned. If you're not following us on Instagram at 24/7 Hustler, of course, go do that. Stay tuned for more content, man. With that being said, Norks, Alex, you know, close us out.
The hustle is what you can't control, so control your grind and control your life. I'm Alex.
And I'm Owen and
And that wraps up the show, y'all. Peace
out.
Thank you so much for listening. The conversation continues on our Instagram at 24/7 Hustler. We post very frequently. And be sure to check out our merch at hustleovereverything.co. We have some amazing sweaters, hats, mugs, and a lot more. Lastly, our Proud to Pay program is linked in the description below. Thank you so much for your support. Talk to you next Monday. Peace.